If you're trying your best to reduce your accent or change your accent and are still struggling, here are a list of other factors that could affect your progress and how to get around them. My background is as a speech language pathologist. So I have a master's degree in communication sciences and disorders. So part of this is understanding some of the other issues or clinical issues that can get in the way of speaking English clearly. So if you're really struggling to acquire that accent, these issues could be part of the problem. So I have 5 of them, and I really want to make sure that you get number 5, so stick around to the end. Okay, number 1, structural issues in the mouth. So if you have structural differences in your mouth, then it's going to affect the way that you speak English. Okay, so if you have an overbite where your top teeth are significantly over your bottom teeth, or an underbite where your bottom teeth are significantly over your top teeth, that can affect the way that you produce the sounds of American English, because mouth placement and tongue placement and teeth placement is critically important in creating those sounds of American English. Okay, the next is mouth shape. So mouth shape can really affect the resonance that happens in sounds that you're saying in American English. Nasal obstruction. So if your nasal passage is obstructed in some way, that your airflow can't come through the nose, then you're going to have a hard time producing the nasal sounds of American English. So So those are going to be really difficult if you can't have that airflow. So it's going to affect the way that you can produce those sounds. You can also have different quality of voice. So there's like the head voice where you're speaking more up here in your head. Okay, there's the chest voice. Chest voice is down in your chest. Okay, and then nasal voice is where you're speaking more in your nasal cavity. Okay, so the head and throat and all of these structures that you have within this area is really going to affect the way that you're producing sounds. It's similar to a musical instrument, okay? So the different shape of different musical instruments, say the trumpet or the trombone or the flute, the structure that they have, the size is going to affect the sound that comes out of it. Okay, same thing goes for the structures of our head and neck. Okay, so be aware that if there are structural differences, we have to account for those. And being able to work with a professional to help kind of compensate for those differences could be highly valuable for you. The second thing that can affect the way that you are speaking English or producing sounds in English is if you have a speech disorder in your native language, that is going to carry over into the way that you speak English. So if you have any kind of issue with articulation in your first language, the way you're producing the sounds of your first language, or language issues, you struggle with the sentence structure of your native language, that is going to carry over into English. As well as if there's kind of a lisp or a stutter, or your speaking pace is really fast or really slow. If you're doing these things in your native language, it's going to carry over into English for the most part. Okay, for example, I have a student named Amadou, and he has struggled with a stutter his whole life. So sometimes he'll go to say a sound and he'll kind of repeat that sound a few times before he goes in it. So it's he'll repeat the sound before he can move through the word. So as he's learned languages, and he's learned multiple languages, and he's highly proficient at multiple languages, he recognizes that stutter is something that's going to carry with him, whether he's speaking English, French, Spanish, German, whatever language he is showing up in, that stutter is going to follow him. So he has some strategies to be able to control that stutter, but really, that stutter is something that's going to be with him as he continues on. So there's ways to work on some of these speech disorders in your native language and in English, but working with a professional is probably going to be the most helpful in being able to develop those strategies. Okay, the third thing to be aware of that could be affecting your spoken English is medical issues. So neurological injuries, traumatic brain injury, or swallowing problems. You could have issues with your vocal folds. So there could be, polyps or lesions on your vocal folds that are causing it, your voice to sound a certain way. So we have to consider these medical issues that could be affecting your voice and the quality of your voice and the way that you're processing language and able to fluently use English. The fourth thing that we need to consider is age. So as you get older, your muscles are going to get weaker. Your neurons in your brain are going to fire slower. So age does affect the way that you're able to speak American English. So the muscles are going to be weaker. You might slur words a little bit more. You have to work harder to move the muscles in your mouth to get that precision in the way that you're speaking English. So be aware of that age factor. And the fifth one, and I talk about this a lot in my program and on my channel, Pronunciation Pro, but the fifth thing to consider is mindset, okay? Mindset, are you feeling more shy or nervous around speaking English? Do you feel more shy or nervous in your first language? Is that part of kind of your personality and something that you've struggled with maybe in your first language? You're going to carry over those same mindsets into speaking English. So maybe you don't see yourself as valuable, or that you feel like you're maybe not enough. These are limiting beliefs that we really have to get aware of, that maybe you have even in your native language, and you're going to pull those into English. So I want you to consider these 5 things and see if one of these is affecting the way that you're able to speak English. So do your best with what you're working with. Okay? Your weakness can become your strength as you work on it and build that weakness. As you work on that area, you can build strength in it. I know that with Amadou, as he had this speech impediment as a child, it made him that much more determined to not let this speech impediment or this speech disorder of stuttering affect the way that he communicates with others. So he worked a lot on his mindset of saying this, yeah, I have a stutter, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I am going to learn languages. I'm going to not only, learn my own native language, but I am going to learn English, and I'm going to learn Spanish and German and French. And he just keeps building and growing in his ability to communicate. It's incredibly inspiring when we see people who have overcome some of these challenges and they just keep fighting. There's that grit and determination. Whenever I talk to Amadou, I'm so amazed at what he's done and the confidence that he's built in himself, despite some of the challenges of his stutter that has carried with him throughout the languages that he's learned. So nothing can stop you when you are determined to make it happen. So when there's a will, there's a way. So if you are feeling like one of these is kind of holding you back, it can't stop you. You can decide right now that you're going to find a way through it, and you're going to make sure that you can still continue to build your communication skills in a way that will serve you in your life. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so that you can learn how to speak English with more clarity and especially with more confidence. So check out this next video. Say what? Common pronunciation mistakes you might be making.